Have you ever wondered where you came from? What your ancestors looked or acted like? As much as we think we are unique, simple everyday tasks such as opening a door or walking through one may tell us more about our history than you think. Follow us on a journey to learn more about our human evolution.
What is evolution? Evolution is the change in allele frequencies over time, or the change in properties of organisms over a period of time. Hello, my name is Adina Harris, and you'll be listening to me and some of my colleagues talk to you about what human evolution is and what it means to us. Welcome to TED Talk. Charles Darwin is one of the most commonly known contributors to the discovery of evolution. However, he had help along the way with a couple of other people that I'm going to tell you about. For instance, you have John Baptiste Lamarck, who, before Charles Darwin, had started talking about this theory of adaptation. Though he had a little bit of misconceptions about adaptation, he did get a few points right. For instance, how we have giraffes and they have long necks in order to be able to eat food from the top of the trees. That's adaptation. And then you have Alfred Wallace and Charles Darwin, who gave us the theory of natural selection. Natural selection is one of the biggest contributions to evolution. Most of our species have grown and adapted and changed because of natural selection. And basically, the theory of natural selection that Alfred Wallace had was that if you're in an environment and you have two species, you will have one species who's more capable of living in that environment than the other one. So we'll say that species is the winner, and the other species is the loser. And because it loses, it dies out. Then you have Charles Lyell, who was pretty much a geologist who wrote books and published his theories. And he's the reason why Charles Darwin is the most commonly known theorist of evolution, because he published one of Charles Darwin's books, The Origin of Species. Human evolution? Well, let's just say we came from ape-like ancestors. But what kind of ape-like ancestors did humans derive from?
How closely would you say humans and chimpanzees are? Would you be shocked if I told you that humans and chimpanzees only differ by 1%? Just 1%. Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Dixon and I am a colleague of Adina Harris, who just recently spoke to you all about evolution and human evolution. But she did not tell you who the great ape is that is our ancestor. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's the chimpanzee. And what is a chimpanzee, you ask? It is a great ape, of course, that is closely related to us humans. These primates can be found in a variety of environments in Western and Central Africa. Chimpanzees are omnivores, which means that they eat meat and plants. They also eat other small ants and small animals, sometimes even young monkeys. Because of the rapid deforestation in their environment, chimpanzees are endangered species. Chimpanzees are one of two species in the genus Pan, the other being the bonobo. They are our closest living relative, sharing more than 98% of our genetic blueprint. Well, that's the intro that I've given you on chimpanzees, but you'll definitely be hearing more about them later on in today's TED Talk. Hey everyone, and welcome back to our TED Talk. As you all know, my name is Tyler Dixon. I previously was talking to you all about our common ancestor, the chimpanzee, but I didn't really get to tell you a lot about humans, us, who we are. So a human is a man or a woman or a child of the species Homo sapiens. We are distinguished from other animals by superior mental development, power of articulate speech, and upright stance. But as humans, we tend to live our lives and we act and we communicate in a way that is of our personal preference, which kind of distinguishes us from our ancestor. But to my left, I have my colleague, Morgan Riddick, who will tell you a little more about humans and chimpanzees.
So as Tyler mentioned, my name is Morgan Riddick, and in this section of the TED Talk, I'm going to explain more about the common ancestor that human and chimp share and what more is human evolution. To start, there are major contradictions about how human evolution looks. When it comes to this topic, most scientists are split on three components: diet, habitat, and method of walking. Humans share common traits with apes, but don't have features that distinctly set us apart from them. Thus, humans are a kind of ape. Humans and the great apes of Africa share a common ancestor which split about 5 to 7 million years ago. Let's pull up two images. You'll be able to see how closely related the big apes and humans that Tyler were talking about are related. In this graphic, you'll see how closely related humans are to the apes. If you look further in depth, you'll see that the missing link is their common ancestor. The similarities shown here in our second graphic show that the genetic difference between humans and apes is only one pair of chromosomes. This split and much of the evolutionary changes associated took place in Africa. Many scientists acknowledge that the number of human species range between 15 to 20. What's more, scientists are interested in how to find, identify, and name those species, and if they simply died off or if other factors came into play. The stages of human evolution include Dryopithecus, who most likely lived in deeply forested areas of Africa, China, India, and Europe, Ramapithecus, who lived in not only the forests but on the grasslands, Australopithecus, who would be the start of the Homo genus species and include the artifact Lucy, Homo erectus, the cave-dwelling species that is thought to have produced fire and participated in hunting of larger animals, Homo neanderthalensis, and finally, Homo sapiens sapien, who participated in cave drawing and hunting-gathering culture. In the final portion of our TED Talk, my colleague Michael will explain more in depth about the comparisons of humans and chimps, and include some other details that you might find interesting.
Hello, my name is Michael Ely, and I'll be talking about the comparisons of humans and chimpanzees. When it comes to sociability, with humans, it can really vary person to person. I would venture to say that most human beings are friendly. With chimpanzees, a lot of times they are very social, so they will tickle each other or they will groom each other to show affection. As well, they travel in packs of about 50 people or 50 close friends, as we would call them. On the other hand, humans, we tend to have about 150 to 200 people that we might call friends or close friends. When it comes to mating behaviors, there is no specific mating season for humans and chimpanzees. There is one thing though. A lot of times with chimpanzees, there tends to be more mating when there is an abundance of food. As well, there are different types of mating for chimpanzees. You have restrictive mating, where the dominant male of the pack will restrict other males from mating with the female in the community. You have consortship mating, where the adult pair, they leave the community for several days, to weeks, to go out and find a mate. You have extra group mating, where females will leave the community and mate furtively with males from other communities. With the human species, of course you can have sex with more than one person, but the mating does occur with just one other partner. When it comes to parental care for chimpanzees, the majority of the care, similarly to humans, it falls on the mother, but there are, of course, more cases where the father is included in this. For the first 2 months are crucial for the life of any child in the human or the chimpanzee persuasion. And then from age 6 to 9, for chimpanzees, they are much independent from their mother, while during the human persuasion, a child is still very dependent on their mother.
Over the course of this TED Talk, you all should have learned about evolution, human evolution, the human ancestor, and the similarities and differences between the human and the chimpanzee.
So what does human evolution mean to me? It basically just reminds me that though we're all different, we are so much closely related than we think. And basically, the world is ever-changing and ever-growing.
Human evolution means to me that despite our differences, we all have one factor that remains the same. Even though we don't think about it, we're part of something bigger. Through those connected branches, we're one big family.
And to me, human evolution has taught me more about myself than I was able to learn in the 20 years of my existence. I was able to learn where my behavior skills, my communication, and my entire lifestyle, where it derived from.
When I hear the term human evolution, its significance to me is that my being is very complex. And it says that I derive from a thing, people, or possibly even species that once was to arrive to the place that I am to be.
Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed our TED Talk.
Thanks.
Bye.